Getting set to go green. If you're a racing fan, this is the only way to celebrate the 4th of July. NASCAR live on TNT. We are underway. Green flag racing from Daytona.
Against the bump, drafting has started going into turn 1 with the 2 right tucked up under the 24 there.
Well, this is the best they handle him. The cars are going to handle all night long. That's my favorite camera shot right there. Car already a little bit sideways.
Now that's amazing for the first, I guess, probably 15, 20, 30 rows, or excuse me, for the first 10 or 12 rows. These guys are still side by side. Nobody tried to go change lanes. Nobody tried to go the outside. They're being pretty patient here the first couple of laps.
I'll tell you what, Kurt Busch could not get any further up underneath the rear end of Jeff Gordon's car without picking the rear end up.
Well, I think he's getting a little bit of help there from Denny Hamlin, because Denny Hamlin's got that front bumper laid on the rear bumper of Kurt Busch. And that's why I believe he got loose there coming out of 4. You can see him pushing right there. He got loose again.
For it.
And he got pushed down there. He got pushed down there. That's a good call.
Clear high, one inside.
Yeah, I'm not sure Kurt was ready, but Denny was ready to get him up there.
Well, you know what? When he had it sideways, he was really mad, but he's really happy right now. Because, you know, when a guy does that to you, it's like, what the heck are you doing? Oh, okay, I'm in the lead. That's all right. Cool, thanks.
And you're sitting there with Jeff Gordon.
Absolutely. His spotter told me this morning, one thing that they saw from this race car in practice, it could go absolutely anywhere. The top, the middle, the bottom. He especially liked going up to the middle, and you saw that move. He did the same exact move in practice. Kurt said this is the best car he's ever had here at the beach. Marty?
Denny Hamlin back there, the one that gave him the shove to the front, and while he was talking about how these cars handle early in the run, Denny told me he expects his car to be extremely loose for about 10 laps, but that helps him at the end of the run, where they feel like they're better than a lot of cars. A lot of people in the garage area said this morning that 11 car, the one to watch out for.
Speaking of the garage area, Dave Blaney is taking the 66 to the garage.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, I'm listening to that report, and they're talking about the 2 car being able to go low, high, wherever he wants to go. Let me tell you something. That 2 car was going wherever that 11 car wanted him to go because he was pushing him there.
And I was curious to see if the 11 car got out front. If it get, you know, sometimes you have a car that follows really good and pushes, but once you get it out in the lead, it dies like a dog.
Elliott Sadler's got 9, and Larry, I gotta tell you, Jeff Gordon's grabbing a handful. Oh, we got some trouble down the backstretch. 2 cars, including Mark Martin, sliding through
Spun us down the back.
the inside of the track in our first caution of the night now.
You all right, Bart? Got a lot of got a lot of front.
A lot of front damage is what he was trying to say here. Let's try to get a look. You see the 17 car up there, and I think Mark was just trying to slide up there in front of Matt, and that was just a close call, and an inch would have done it.
Yeah, and you know,
Montoya. Whoa! Almost made it.
But you look at Matt, there's 2 cars coming from 2 different angles to the same spot on the racetrack. And, you know, it's one of those deals that's give and take, and I don't think Matt thought that he was going to come up that quick either.
All right, Matt, first round of pit stops. You get the first call.
Mr. Second Place, the Blue Deuce. Kurt Busch peels off to his pit box. Slides right through his pit box. Locked him up. He's caught the air hose. Now backing up. This is going to be costly for Kurt Busch. A lot of spotters try to remind their drivers when they come in off the banking to make sure they don't lock up. Let's go further up pit road.
Jimmy Johnson tight in traffic, Matt. He has brought his car to a stop. It will be 4 tires and fuel. You see it happening top left of your screen. They will also make an adjustment, Marty. Denny Hamlin, top and middle of your screen. The car was a little bit too tight for Hamlin. Half round of wedge out of the left side. He will win the race. Actually, Tony Stewart will win the race off pit road. Stewart was a little bit tight as well. An air pressure adjustment for Stewart as he leaves pit road.
Well, I tell you, I think that's going to cost Kurt Busch about 15, maybe 20 positions that slide through the pits.
Marty, we saw Mark Martin have some issues taken out way too early tonight. What are you hearing from down there?
Yeah, Mark behind the wall right now, but we're watching Tony Stewart and Kyle talking about people's lips not moving. Tony Stewart's lips are not moving. You can see how well that car is handling. The first run, a little too tight. Spin on the track, Ralph.
Yeah, we do. It's Casey Mears, the same spot, actually, where we saw Mark Martin.
Caution's out, Todd. We spun off at 2.
Whoa.
Oh,
wow.
Man, he had it saved. He had it saved.
I can't believe he
Left rear
jumped off the
corner
brake and let that thing roll.
Yeah,
because I thought
that's
he
where
was
you
gonna
jump on
stop.
the throttle.
Yeah,
At least.
And look, it's easy to sit up here and criticize, so let me say that. I apologize. But I really thought that when he was on the brake that the thing was going to stop, and then it just rolled off.
Tony Stewart back to the inside for another restart. You know, last night in the nationwide race, all the leaders chose the bottom for restarts.
Now, I think you'll see that outside lane hang a little bit longer this time, Kyle, instead of getting single file. I think the last time you had Ambrose up there, and I think it seemed to me like those guys didn't want to work with Ambrose too much, and they all dumped him real quick. And now they're comfortable with each other, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Although Marcus has been around a lot, when you come to these racetracks, you want to look up in the mirror and know somebody that's been here a lot.
Yeah, and we talked about this last night during the nationwide race. The nationwide race had the double file restarts, but when we looked at them, they didn't necessarily work the way we thought they were going to work. And that's because some of the guys that were up front, I don't believe everybody that was up front, all the Cup drivers, were comfortable running with those guys last night. Clint Boyer wasn't comfortable running with some of the regulars over there. So it's different. Just like you say, they're not comfortable with Ambrose here. Now, Ambrose kicks their butt when they get to the road courses. Okay, they're comfortable running with him there.
Yeah.
New leader, Denny Hamlin back out front. Whoa, look at Kyle Busch stuck to the bottom.
That's a
Denny's got to go
crossover
down there
move.
and block that.
He's gonna, I don't know if he's blocking or is he trying to get that push, because Kyle was coming. And if you can time it just right, look up in the mirror, which you drive these cars as much in the mirror as you do out the windshield. You see a guy coming, you want to get up in front of him so you can get that push.
The racetrack was green, and they wore the right rear a little bit. When they went to the night practice, then it seemed that most of the pressure was on the right front. He said he ran about 10 or 12 laps, and he heard a ticking sound, He stayed out there for about 3 laps, came in, and his tire looked exactly like that tire. You see the tire comes apart, and it begins to tick and to hit the fender. And just like you said, always believe what your butt tells you.
Yeah.
That's Montoya believing what he felt through the steering wheel and what he felt in his rear end.
And you look at that tire that Lindsey just showed us. I mean, you know, once they get to that point, they go fast. You know what I mean? You'll feel the car sliding and you'll know something's wrong. It's like, all right, I got to come in. But when it gets to that point, one lap, they just shred so fast. So you have got to be on top of it.
He was 25th before he pitted, Larry.
Well, yeah, I've been watching, you know, the first run before that first caution, we ran 12 laps. The next run before caution number 2, we ran 11 laps. This is by far, now we're at 15 laps, the longest green flag run. And this is when we started seeing some tire issues show up in practice. But Kyle and Wally, one thing that a lot of the teams lobbied for is NASCAR, in Goodyear, they give them recommended air pressures, but they mandate the right front air pressure, and here it was 50 PSI. The teams lobbied, let us take some air pressure out of the right front tire, because the pattern we saw in practice, the teams that were more up in air pressure on the right side tires, that seemed to be the ones that were having problems in practice on Thursday. So a lot of the teams trying to get down on air pressure a little bit, maybe to help this problem.
And they did that, Larry, really, because we're our own worst enemies, aren't we?
Yeah.
When it comes to the tire pressure.
You'll always push the edge.
Well, yeah, absolutely. You know, whatever works, and it may be, I don't want to use the word dangerous, but if there's, you know, if it's on the edge a little bit and it's worth 0.2 of a second, we'll go there without even second guessing.
But understand, NASCAR comes, or Goodyear comes down here, and you do a tire test, and you do it under controlled conditions, okay? It's like an experiment. Then when you come back and it's a race, that's not controlled conditions. That's everybody trying everything they want.
Matt Kenseth had dove to pit road. He was running 3rd at the time, and the third caution is now out.
This would be perfect for him, because he's pitted already, and he was on pit lane already, and all those guys are going to come in and pit, so this should put him in front. I saw something fly up in the air.
It's off of Sam Hornish.
Was that a tire?
Looks like it.
That was a
Looks
tire.
like a right rear.
Yeah. And there it was.
Montoya.
We knew it was coming. So.
Don't forget, Montoya
Eventually.
now is going to take advantage of that. He'll get the lucky dog.
And look how it's torn the side. Absolutely.
Oh, man.
And that foam, you see that foam coming up? That's the foam I spoke of a minute ago.
Yep.
The foam that I spoke about a minute ago in the side of Ryan Newman's car that keeps the side from caving in. As that tire comes apart, it just rips that foam apart.
Boy, I don't know what that is hanging there underneath the car. Right under. like it was important, though. Whatever it was.
It's like when you put it together, you have that piece left over. Field coming back to the green. Here we go. And Kenseth on the bottom with the restart. Same place everybody's been so far tonight. Kenseth had the lead when the green came out, but Larry, he's fighting to hang on right now if he can get a good shot from Hamlin.
Yeah, but guys, it was the perfect world for the 17 car, because remember, before he made the green flag pit stop, he was running with the leaders. He was on pit road when the caution came out, so when he drove off pit road, he was still on the lead lap. Everyone else had to come in, so basically the problem he had with the tire, it gave him the lead of the race.
And you know another thing Larry dodged a bullet on? He was the only one that came down pit lane. And sometimes that's not the thing to do in a restrictor plate race.
Well, again, I think because the caution came out, that's the thing that saved him. If he'd have stayed in there and we were green flag racing, he'd have went a lap down.
You know, that old adage of better be lucky than good. I mean, I think every time like that it pops up, it just really came true there for him.
If we can get a shot of the 48, see his hand in there? I've been watching the 48's hand on that steering wheel all night long, and it's spectacular because that thing is just going left to right, left to right. When you see him going through the corner, I don't know what he's saying about his race car, but it looks like it's a handful right now. He's fast,
Still inside.
and he's running up front.
This is where you want your competitors to, you should wear black gloves so your competitors don't know how bad your car's driving. Because if they can see your hands going everywhere, they're thinking, my God, I got to get away from that guy.
Let's go around the field, and we'll kick things off with Marty Snyder.
Yeah, kind of have to go around because the cars are all jumbled up, but Denny Hamlin so far has kept it out front. Terrific night for the FedEx team so far. Hamlin very happy with the car. When I talked to Mike Ford this morning, he told me the key tonight, finishing. They are 6th in the championship standings, but only 84 points in the chase, so just a top 10 is really what they want. Tony Stewart, you can count on 2 things tonight. They've won the race off pit road, and he's been on the bottom of the racetrack the entire night. Takes about 8 laps for that 14 car to come in, but he always finds his way towards the front at the end of the run, Matt.
The 99 Carl Edwards third in line, and the yellow car hasn't gone to victory lane since last November here in Florida, South Florida. He's been on a roll, though, 3 top 5s in the last 6 races. This car was so good in practice, he quit early.
But
there's a crash on the racetrack.
On the backstretch. Big problems going down towards turn number 3. A lot of cars involved. Rudiman is in that. Gilliland is in there. Boyer. You see the 43 of Sorensen, the 83 of Vickers. There's Rudiman. Dale Jr. caught up in it as well. Smoke just pouring out of the 88.
And this is, you know, we talk about this racetrack all the time. The big accidents at Daytona happen almost always in the middle of the backstretch. Guys jockeying for position, inside, outside, and you just don't clear somebody, or you clip somebody and you force somebody into a wall, and then it's a chain reaction because you got no place to go and you can't see.
Reed Sorensen in the 43.
Here they are in a straight line. I'm not even sure where this one starts. You see the 12 car.
Wow.
He gets tapped.
Yeah.
He gets into the back. It's like Casey gets in the back of him.
Yeah, and that's what happens with these cars sometimes. If you're not dead straight when you're hitting the guy in front of you bump drafting, you're going to turn them straight into the wall.
And you saw the 00 turn to the outside. Well, obviously he got hit in the back and turned the opposite way by somebody. Now look at that. You can see nothing. From where we were sitting right there, you could see from there, you could see nothing back all the way to turn 2.
Yeah, Casey definitely got into the 12, didn't he? Watch
Casey.
Rudiman in the 00 come around.
Yeah, well, at this point.
Right. Oh, man.
At this point, when you're behind something like that happened, all you can do is look straight, hold the steering wheel straight, get out of the gas, and hope you don't get run into or you run into somebody. There's not a whole lot you can do in this situation.
And the thing is, the accident started. Here's what happens with accidents at Daytona and places like this. You see these guys still piling into the wreck down here. There were almost 3 wrecks there. Okay, you had the first wreck. You had the 12 and the 9 get together. All right, then the 00 gets turned into the outside wall, starts another wreck. As those cars come out of the smoke on the other side, they continue to run into each other down in turn 3. That spread over about a mile and a half, or a mile of the racetrack.
And what happened was, when Casey was not squared up with the 12 when he hit him, the 12 was over just a little bit. It wasn't a flat square shot, and that's what turns the car to the right.
Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch trying to figure out a way around their own teammate there, Marty.
That old family reunion up there, 1, 2, 3, huh, Ralph? And you guys were talking about Tony selecting the bottom line. Here's one thing that Tony has talked about several times. The car is so loose to start a runoff with that it seems like the bottom is better. Seems like when he's up top, the looser or the higher he is, the looser the car gets. Now his car is a little bit tight. So I think really Wally and Kyle, it's more of a handling issue as to why Tony's hugging that yellow line more than anything else. Don't you guys agree?
Certainly that explains it, Marty. I mean, if that's why he's choosing it, because he's too loose on the high side, then exactly. Especially on the restarts. Up, we got the 00 in the wall.
Oh, David
clear down, all the way down.
And he's been kind of having some issues. I saw him
coming on the outside there, outside, right front blue.
I saw him struggling when they went back to green.
And he'll be the first car that pits in that stall number 43. Now, the last time we were telling you the adjustment they made was wedge. They're going to make a wedge adjustment this time, reversing what they did last time, trying to free the car up this time. Let's go to Adam as he slides to a stop.
The 48 of Jimmy Johnson came on the radio, said really good, a little free, but I'll take it. First time tonight, they have not made adjustment. Top right of your screen, it will be 4 tires and fuel. This stop at lap 103, they'll have to come one more time, Marty. Denny Hamlin in that 11 car says he's tight, especially off turn 2. 2/10 of a pound out of the right front and left rear tires, trying to loosen it up just a little bit at the end of that run. Tony Stewart in the middle of your screen right there, trying to win the race off pit road one more time. He will do it. 4 tires for Stewart, up half around on the track bar, halfway back on the adjustment they did last time.
Boy, Darian Grubb just has that 14 crew just hitting it perfectly.
Watch Jimmy Johnson. When he hits this pit, he locks it up, and he's pointed to the wall. Yeah. He's too close to the wall.
Man.
Not only is it too tight, but he's got to drop it in reverse so he can clear the guys in front of him.
Well, and Joey's one of 6 drivers in the top 10 right now, Lindsey, without a restrictor plate win. They include David Reagan, Carl Edwards, Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, Kurt Busch, and Marcus Ambrose. And you know, one of the things I liked hearing about Logano was the fact that they're starting to work off of his notes now, as opposed to where Tony had been in the past. So him and Zipadelli were, wow, look at that.
I tell you what, the 6 car and the 18 just put a block on him, and he's going to cost all those guys positions just because the 18 was putting a block. And now you got the guys down, you got Kenseth down there in Hamlin. But I'll tell you what, the 6 car looks awfully strong, David Reagan.
The 6 car is really handling good. I think the 18 is his handling's gone away. And when we went to break right there, the 17 was almost sideways down under him, trying to figure out where he was at because the 11 was right behind.
Talking about the 11, Marty, what are you hearing?
That was Denny Hamlin's radio, said that he's extremely tight. The car has been loose for much of the night. He radioed Mike Ford, I might have a right front going down. You heard the voice of Curtis Markham, former driver. Now Denny Hamlin, spotter, trying to do what he could do to see the right front tire, but obviously still going on.
Marty! Kurt Busch and David Reagan. Oh.
There goes the splitter.
I thought they were going to get together a little earlier. They almost had a big problem. They waited a little while longer, and then finally.
And I'll tell you what, I will be surprised if the 11's
now we might have some.
If the 11's right front isn't down to the cords.
Yeah.
Pits are open. Here they all come. We'll kick it off with Matt.
And Kurt Busch's team, the first thing they'll do when they go to work on this 2 car is also survey any kind of cosmetic damage to his car. There is a donut. He goes around the 9 of Kane into his pit box. He's at a bad angle. They're going to make a chassis adjustment, Lizzie, and air pressure, try to free him up.
Matt, Joey Logano also got a small chassis adjustment, 4 fresh tires. Greg Zipadelli said make sure you stop shorter in the pit box this time so you don't get boxed in. Adam?
And Burton still tight, Lindsey. He said, don't make any changes. I don't want to take us out of the game. 4 tires and fuel, and they can go from here, Marty.
5 times of 14 cars pitted tonight, and they have won the race off every time. They win it again for the 6th time tonight. Car just a little bit too tight for Stewart. Small piece of tape on the nose and water for Tony, and that was it. 4 tires.
You know what, Marty? They are getting better, too, because this last stop, boy, they had everybody covered on that one. You can see 17 still having problems down there. Watch this here at the front of pit road.
Yeah, see, here comes Robbie Gordon.
Yeah, it's Robbie.
See, the 18's leaving at the same time. But, you know,
18.
a little tap there, but he could have lost a lot more than... He only lost 1 spot because of that. He got lucky.
Yeah, he was not going to beat the 14, even at that. He got a good stop. The 18 had a great stop, but he was not going to beat the 14. And the 7 slows down to be courteous to let the 11 out, if you saw that.
All right.
That was a good job by Robbie Gordon.
And Edwards right through the grass. And the way things are shaping up here, we should have a great finish in store here tonight at Daytona. Lights off in the pace car. Tony Stewart, our race leader, once again at the bottom as we go with a double file shootout restart.
And we got some new blood up there in the outside line. Kyle, what did you just say?
He said shootout.
Just for you. I had to slide one in for you.
Could smack you.
We
for
hadn't
that.
heard it all night.
Yeah, you completely butchered it. You said it wrong. That's why I wasn't sure exactly what you said.
Caught me off
It was a
guard.
great look, though.
Because I told everybody in Twitterville I was not saying that anymore.
Yeah. Tell you what. See how, and there you go. Well, all of the bottom line broke up too. But I'll tell you what, if that 11 car gets up there, or the 18, they're going to hang Tony out. Nope.
He tucks in.
He tucks in.
Very nice.
You know, look, when these cars are full of fuel and they barrel off in that first corner on that first lap, it doesn't look like they settle down to halfway down the backstretch. They bounce so much and move around so much.
Look at how many laps Hamlin and Stewart have led here tonight compared to everybody else.
That doesn't mean anything. I mean, I don't think it means anything, because when it gets down to the end, that's when the craziness starts.
Well, we're just going to add Jeff Burton to that mix because he picks up 1.
And Tony's got him jacked up coming through there. I mean, he's sideways and backwards, it looks like. But, I mean, you know, we're back to the same 3 or 4 cars right there in the top 5. There's the 11 on that.
2 car opening back to 2 by 2.
Jeff Burton at the point, Adam.
And it's interesting that he's in the lead because he's one of 7 drivers, Ralph, that won in 2008 that are yet to visit victory lane in 2009. There have been 11 winners this season. There were only 12 all of last year. Burton hoping he can put his name on the trophy for the first time this campaign and give RCR the weekend sweep. Of course, last night it was Clint Boyer that took Richard Childress to victory lane in nationwide competition.
And of course, Tony Stewart has a couple of Cup Series wins here at Daytona, both of which came in the 400. There you see the winners that we've had this season, and such a variety of them as well. A lot of parity in the class this year. Stewart back at the front. Now Jeff Burton looking for a place to settle in.
Jimmy Johnson gets a pretty good run on the high side, and there's Montoya right in the thick of it after being a lap down earlier.
After being a lap down and out through the grass on the backstretch, you know what I mean? And I think that, you know,
he's got that free pass twice tonight, Kyle.
But in a lot of ways, that's a tribute to this car in some strange way. You know what I mean? Oh, something's happened to Burton. Something's happened to Burton.
Tire?
He had contact with somebody.
Adam, is that a tire going down on the 31?
Oh, 6 in the wall.
Oh,
He just came on the radio, Ralph, and said, I have a tire going down, leading a moment ago, and now the free-for-all through the field. The crew is ready, and Jeff Burton going to have to make an unscheduled pit stop, taking him out of the running tonight. Too bad.
For these first 3 guys.
And Stewart's been getting really good restarts.
Here we go. Coming back to the line. Green flag is out, and we're back at it at Daytona.
He got a good start right there, too.
Yeah. Jimmy Johnson, though, he's pushing that 18 car, and that will make a huge difference coming off of 2.
Now Tony's got a pusher. You saw him come right up to the back bumper there.
It looked like more like a shove as they came off at 2. Here they come down the backstretch. Johnson drops to the bottom 2.
Yeah, Jimmy's got to go.
You're clear 11.
Well, 18 got down there, but I was going to say the 2 strongest cars right now are right there.
14 and 11.
So now Hamlin's going to have to figure out, well, what am I going to do to get by him?
Look at those things bounce, man. I mean, they bounce left, they bounce right. I mean, and that's violent. I think we've seen in-car camera shots how violent the driver's head kind of ricochets around inside the seat.
And these 4 already starting to separate themselves a little bit from that pack. Kenseth doing everything he can to hang on. He's trying to see if Elliott Sadler in that 19 can help push him up there.
You see Montoya jump out of the line back there in the back, and then.
But this is where the wrecks start happening, because now these guys are mirror driving more than they're looking out the windshield.
Yeah.
They're trying to block each other. Whoa!
Oh man!
And all you're trying to keep that guy behind it. You don't.
Oh,
here we
there
go.
it is. Scott Speed,
They're
AJ
wrecking behind
Allmendinger.
you. Still outside. Stay in the gas.
Scott Speed in the Red Bull number 82.
And you just get to this point in the race and you can just expect it, because everybody is trying to protect their position. And if you look in the mirror, you see a guy has a run on you, you're going to turn in front of him and try to block it.
8th caution of the night. He was running in 15th.
You're going to see some hammering on bumpers here in a minute. Well, already you're seeing it. Look at them. They're already pushing each other.
Here we go. The green flag is in the air. 4 laps remaining.
I like these double file restarts, man. Especially like this. 4 or 5 laps to go.
And there's 4 strong. Oh, wow. Jimmy Johnson dumped the 11. I did not expect
he just
that.
left him. Well, Hamlin's going to slide down in there.
But it's almost like with these cars, once you pull down behind the car, you don't go anywhere, but the car in front of you, he doesn't go anywhere either. Both cars just fell in line.
Boy, it's ugly right there. You see a lot, like I said, a lot of bumper tag right now. You got to give it everything you got. You got 4 laps to go. It's everything. Either get a good finish or bring back the steering wheel.
And how many times have we seen nothing come back but the steering wheel here? Yeah, especially here at this place.
Now Kyle pulls out and Hamlin goes with him, but they gotta time it right.
Yeah.
But if the 18 pulls out and the 11 goes, there's a shot at getting by Tony. Tony's car is awfully strong, but he's gonna need everybody to line up against him.
And you're going to need to pick your time to do that as well.
I'd be doing it right now. I wouldn't be waiting for that last lap stuff doesn't work anymore.
That last lap stuff is great for Talladega Nights. Okay, it's not great for right here. Let me say that. You want to get in front and block. Is what you want to do, and especially when you've got a teammate, you want to get in front and put it down to the 11 and the 18 and let those guys race. But I'm telling you what, there's not many people, I'll say that, as good or better than Tony Stewart in the last 5 or 6 laps of a race.
And the thing is, you got to do it now, Kyle, because there may be a wreck.
There may be a wreck.
And it may take you 2 or 3 laps to work on that leader. These guys need to be doing it now.
That wreck was almost Montoya. He was completely sideways coming off the corner. He saved it again. Busy night for Juan Pablo Montoya as he still runs up inside the top 10 after all he's been through tonight in that 42. 2 to go.
The guys running 6th and 7th have torn up race cars. You know what I mean? I mean, they've been in accidents, but they have driven the wheels off of them, Kurt Busch and Juan Montoya, to keep these cars in contention.
The only ones not with any damage are the ones at the very front of this pack. But we're not done as we're coming around, getting ready for the white flag.
31 at Burt Car.
Here they come, here they come. To the outside. Here comes Kyle Busch. He's got him, and Tony cuts off Hamlin.
Now what's Tony going to do?
You're clear.
And now the question is, Tony's got no help because these guys are running too wide behind him. So now it's man on man right now.
I don't think it's gonna get wider here in a minute, I believe.
Here comes Johnson in behind Stewart. Is it enough? Hamlin's high side up there by himself in the 11. First lap led all night by Kyle Busch, and it's the money lap, and it might be all it takes.
It really
now, what does Johnson do to help Stewart?
Doesn't matter. Kyle Busch is going to hog all the racetrack, or he should. He's mirror driving right now.
Tony Stewart trying to get to the bottom.
He may get turned for mirror driving, but he's going to be mirror driving.
Stewart's trying to squeeze in there.
See that
He's
hand?
shoving to the bottom.
See that
He
hand?
just wanted to touch him, man. Just wanted to touch him.
Can't get him to the high side. Here he comes. No,
There
he turns him.
He turns him.
Bush in the
Oh,
wall.
my
Here
God.
comes Stewart to the checkered
Tony
flag.
Stewart.
And another car gets in the backside. It's Casey Kane. And they're scattering everywhere as they come to the line.
Some of these guys hit hard, man.
And one of them was Kyle Busch.
They're still hitting hard. Man, that's an ugly finish. But incredible. Incredible.
But that was 100% mirror driving, and that's what you have. That's what Kyle Busch had to do.
That's what Kyle Busch had to mirror drive. Tony Stewart had to put the car
push him
there
around, right.
and stick the car where. We saw this same thing in Talladega when with the 09 car with Keselowski. He stuck his car in there, he drove it, he put it where it needed to be, and that's the way it was.
Look at the damage to his race car as Kyle Busch crawls out and walks back down the racetrack.
But, I know people are going to start, well, this guy did this and that guy blamed this guy. Let me tell you, Kyle Busch did what he needed to do. Tony Stewart needed to do it. This is how you go after winning a race at Daytona. You leave everything on the table. This is Daytona.